And for more on the busy summer travel season ahead and the flight delays and cancellations that Americans could encounter, the points guy, Brian Kelly, joins us now. Thank you so much for your time, as always. Are these cancellations enough to spook you into recommending travelers avoid flying American Airlines altogether this summer?
Well, certainly it's something to think about. Over 300 flights have been canceled in the last 3 days, and they're planning to cancel more flights as the summer intensifies. I wouldn't say necessarily avoid them, but definitely, no matter what carrier you're on this summer, double check to make sure that your flight is on time. And a lot of airlines have actually canceled and rescheduled flights. So it's always good to go in and double check your reservations.
And what's your advice if you haven't planned ahead and end up stuck at the airport? Airline call centers, as you know, have been backed up for hours for those who are trying to hold on and get an actual operator. So how can you get through and find a way to your destination?
Well, so the first thing I would recommend, if your flight's canceled, you're going to get a refund. You don't need to wait 6 hours on the phone to get it that day, even if you have to wait till later or go online and cancel it. So rebook yourself. Don't wait in line to be rebooked because, generally there are a few seats available. Get on your phone right away and rebook, even on another carrier. But if you really absolutely have to get in touch with the airline, you can always try via social media, DMing on Twitter, or one of the tricks I've used in the past is call an international number for an airline because you can often get through right away. And most international agents have to speak English anyway. So it's just a little trick us in the industry do.
Yes, some great advice there. And let's also talk about the news that the European Union is now allowing travelers from the U.S. What do travelers need to know before they book?
Well, the first thing you need to know is that there's no one rule for all of the EU. So, for example, Italy still requires multiple COVID tests for tourists, whereas Croatia and Greece are much more open. Also, if you're traveling with children, the rules vary by country. For example, France will allow unvaccinated children in as long as you are vaccinated. So the devil is in the details, and do your research before you book a country.
When would you say is the best time to book a vacation trip to Europe?
I'm booking right now. I'm going twice this summer, Spain and Germany. And I'll tell you what, I've never seen more frequent flyer mile award availability at the Saver, the cheapest level in probably a decade. I just booked 7 business class tickets on Lufthansa using the cheapest amount of miles. So, and also Europe's not going to be that crowded this summer. So I think it's an opportune time to go explore without the crowds and really cheap fares. We're seeing under $500 round trip. That's cheaper than going from New York to Miami these days.
Oh, that's a great price.
Definitely.
And what do the airlines in European countries need in terms of proof of vaccination?
Yeah, the CDC card, in the beginning, we were worried that in general, vaccination should be on World Health Organization cards, but most countries are accepting the CDC card. And, in Iceland, when you arrive, you simply show them your card. Some countries will require COVID tests. So, they'll check that, they'll check your card. But it really just depends. You also have to be mindful if you're connecting through the UK, which is not yet open or at least green listed for US citizens, you still need a COVID test to connect through certain airports. So my best advice is when possible, book nonstop flights, because when you add that stopover, you're adding a whole lot more complexity.
And lastly, what if you want to take a family vacation? What should you know about traveling with kids?
So most kids can't be vaccinated right now. So if you're nervous about it, on airplanes, even though there is a federal mask mandate until September, people still are allowed to eat and drink without their masks on. So if you're worried about exposure with your kids, I recommend, take that road trip this summer. Although national parks are as crowded as ever, many of them are now requiring reservations even to hike. So the number one rule of this summer is book in advance. And don't assume things are going to be like they were pre-pandemic.
Right. Make sure you got it all planned out. The points guy, Brian Kelly, we thank you so much for your time and insight as always.
Thanks for having me.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.